This is Dr. Jefferson. I'm back. I'm here with Dr. Trudy Hall, the chair of Region 2 of the National Medical Association. We're here at our annual meeting in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Dr. Hall, thank you very much. Why don't you tell us what's going on this weekend and what we're trying to accomplish?
Right. Thank you, Dr. Jefferson, for having me on. So I am just so honored that our Region 2 National Medical Association is having our annual conference right here in the city of brotherly love in Philadelphia. So an appropriate place to have a conference. So just for education of who we are, the National Medical Association, we've been in existence for over 125 years. We are collectively the voice of physicians and allied health of color that practice in the United States as well as the Caribbean. So we are broken up into regions. So our region 2, which Dr. Jefferson is a part of, it consists of Pennsylvania, Delaware, Maryland, Virginia, West Virginia, and Washington, D.C. So every year we pick one of our states to have our conference. Conferences for 2 days, April 27th to the 29th. All day today. We have lectures, and when you're ready, I can tell you a little bit about some of the lectures that are going on.
Oh, sure, go ahead. You just give a little taste of what's happening.
So the title of the conference is Post-Pandemic. With a big question mark, because I think a lot of us are wondering, where we are in this pandemic. A lot of us have taken off our mask. We've broken down some of our requirements and restrictions. So really, where do we go from here? And really, what's the health of our communities, but also the health of our physicians? We know that there has been physician burnout. There's been frontline workers that are leaving healthcare to provide care for the community. And then we're now also faced with all of these chronic conditions that are worse, and disparities in people of color. The pandemic highlighted those disparities and health inequities, and part of our conference as well is to talk about some of the health inequities. So this morning we started it off with a bang, really talking about the rise of behavioral health, violence, as well as suicide and addiction in communities of color, and what are we doing about it? What are some policies and some practices? How do we educate physicians of color and also of non-color that are treating our communities of how we should manage going through this post-pandemic with the rise in behavioral health as well as violence and suicide? The afternoon, we're going to be talking a little bit about medical education. We know that there is not enough physicians of color that are going to medical school, staying in medical school, and also having a place to do their residency. So this afternoon we will have starting off with the first HBCU in 40 years. That's starting a new medical school right there in Morgan State in Baltimore, Maryland.
Big news, big news.
That is huge. That is huge. That increases our ability to educate and train physicians of color. Followed by that, we will have Tidal Health, which is a healthcare system on the Eastern Shore, where I am a chief medical officer. We have started a residency program because we have seen the void of our ability to have our doctors finish their training and they have nowhere to do their residency program, and also practicing in rural areas. How do we get doctors to provide care to those communities? And a lot of those communities have a high percentage of color. So we have again Simona Ng from Tidal Health, our designated institutional officer, who will be speaking about starting internal medicine, surgery, anesthesia program, and then Temple, a very good talk from a panel from Temple, which will include an attorney that will talk about some of the policies as well as a Supreme Court ruling that is on the books that could affect our education and training. So that's what we have jam-packed for today, and then we have a kidney talk later on for dinner, and tomorrow we'll talk about diversity, equity, inclusion, and then we will focus on physician wellness. We got to care for people who care for people.
That's right.
And if we're not well, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, then we are not able to meet the needs of our community.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Let's talk a little about the summer. We're going to be nationally meeting in New Orleans, Louisiana. starting July 29th through August 2nd. So if you haven't registered for that convention, if you want more information about our national convention this summer in New Orleans, go to www.nmanet.org. Check that out. You want to say anything about national?
Oh, national! We're going to New Orleans, so we're going to be down on Bourbon Street. So we're just excited. Last year we were at Atlanta, and for the pandemic we were doing our conferences virtually. So it is so nice to actually be able to gather with our colleagues and also have a presence in New Orleans. We want to always have a presence in the city that we are going to be visiting. So just want to make sure, invite members, non-members, become a member. Really, the NMA, I would say, is back. We have a new executive director, Joy Calloway. We have Garfield Clooney, our current president of the NMA. Again, a lot of strides have been made to increase our presence and to be relevant. Because the reality of it is that we need our physicians of color to know they have a home and they have a support, and then we also need to make sure with what they're going through that we are relevant for them professionally, personally, and socially and spiritually.
Nice. Thank you very much, Dr. Hall.
Thank
It's going to be a
you.
great weekend. I'm glad I'm here. So again, keep following this podcast as we talk to more and more members here this weekend here in Philadelphia. And again, check us out. Join us down in New Orleans this summer. Peace.